They don't want you to know this. In fact, they begged me not to share it. Because once you understand how female psychology really works, you can't be manipulated, you can't be strung along, you can't be played. This isn't the soft, polite advice you've heard before. This is the raw truth about what women actually crave, the stuff they'll never admit out loud. And once you know it, you'll start seeing the game for what it really is, and you'll never unsee it. 1. They want your attention, but they crave your absence even more. Every man thinks women want endless attention, and why wouldn't they? That's what we're taught. Make her feel special, be available, give her everything she needs. But here's the truth women will never tell you. They don't just want your attention, they crave your absence. Sounds insane, right? But it's pure psychology. When you're always there, texting constantly, answering every call, available at her every whim, you're safe, predictable, comfortable, and as much as women claim they want that, deep down, it doesn't excite them. Why? Because desire thrives in space. When you step back, when you create just enough distance for her to miss you, for her to wonder what you're doing, for her to feel that little knot in her stomach when you're not around, that's when you become addictive. It's not about ignoring her. It's about not giving her 24/7 access to you. It's about being a man with a life, a purpose, a mission that doesn't revolve around her. This is why the too nice guy never wins. He thinks showering her with constant attention will make her feel secure. But security without mystery is boredom. She may appreciate him, but she doesn't crave him. And here's the kicker. Even the most independent, self-assured woman still needs to feel the thrill of wanting. She still needs to feel that spark of uncertainty, not about your commitment, but about your focus. She needs to know she doesn't fully own you. That's why she gets hooked on the man who disappears into his own world, the man who can spend hours working on himself, his goals, his craft, and isn't glued to his phone waiting for her validation. This drives her crazy. She'll never admit it, but when you're not constantly available, you're on her mind more. She checks her phone. She replays your last interaction. She starts craving your presence because it's no longer guaranteed. Women don't want you to vanish, but they want to feel like they don't fully control you. They want to know that even though you care about them, you care about yourself more. And that's when your presence becomes intoxicating. Real quick, before we go deeper, I've got something for you. It's called the Attraction Handbook. Inside, I reveal the exact psychological triggers that make a woman crave you, using just a few simple moves. It's free for now, so grab it in the description or the pinned comment before it's gone. 2. Her tests aren't about annoying you. They're about finding out who you really are. Men hate when women test them. Why is she acting cold? Why is she being difficult? Why can't she just appreciate me for who I am? But here's the harsh truth. Her tests aren't about annoying you. They're about finding out who you really are. When a woman pushes your buttons, she's not doing it to be cruel. She's doing it to peel back the mask, to see if the man you claim to be is the man you actually are. Women live in a world where men put on performances. They act confident, stable, grounded, until pressure hits. And then, the mask slips. So she tests you. She takes longer to reply. She makes a sarcastic comment. She flirts with boundaries. And she watches, not what you say, but how you react. Do you spiral? Do you get needy? Do you lash out? Or do you stay grounded, calm, and unshaken? Most men fail. They either explode in anger or bend over backward trying to win her approval back. Both reactions tell her the same thing. You're not in control of yourself. She is. But the man who passes, he doesn't take it personally. He doesn't overreact. He sees the test for what it is, an opportunity to show that his emotions aren't dictated by her behavior. And that's when she feels something powerful, respect. She realizes she can't manipulate you. She can't shake you. You are who you say you are, with or without her validation. This is why so many women are drawn to men who seem unbothered. It's not that they don't care. It's that they refuse to let tests pull them out of their frame. And here's the secret. Women don't want you to know. When you pass her tests, you become the rare man she can trust. Not because you told her you're strong, but because you proved it, without saying a word. 3. She'll never tell you this, but she wants a man who can say no to her. Every man thinks women want someone who will give them the world. Do everything she asks. Agree with everything she says. Never rock the boat. But here's the reality women won't admit. They want a man who can tell them no. Not out of spite, not out of dominance, but because a man who can say no is a man with boundaries. This is deeper than just turning down a request. It's about showing her that your life doesn't orbit around her moods, her whims, or her approval. When you can say no to plans you don't agree with, to behaviors you won't tolerate, to anything that violates your standards, you send a clear message: I lead myself. And if you're with me, you're part of my world, not the other way around. That's powerful, that's rare, and that's attractive, because women test boundaries constantly, not because they want to destroy them, but because they want to see if they exist. They want to feel the edges of your resolve. They want to know that if chaos comes, you won't crumble under pressure. The men who can't say no, they end up resented. She might appreciate their compliance for a moment, but deep down, she loses respect for them. Because if you can't stand up to her, how could you stand up for her? But the man who says no, calmly, firmly, without malice, flips a switch inside her. She sees strength. She feels safety. She knows this is a man who can't be bought with affection or controlled with emotions. And though she'll never admit it out loud, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. 4. Her attraction is emotional before it's physical. Here's the biggest lie you've been sold. Women only want men who look a certain way or have a certain status. But the truth? Her attraction to you is emotional before it's physical. Yes, looks and status can open doors, but they don't make her stay. They don't make her think about you at night. They don't make her crave your presence when you're gone. What does? The way you make her feel. Most men never figure this out. They think attraction is about performing, flexing muscles, flashing money, bragging about achievements. But women don't obsess over the man who impresses them. They obsess over the man who moves them. When she thinks about you in bed at night, it's not because you showed her your resume. It's because you made her feel alive, seen, safe, excited, desired. That's why emotional connection matters more than men realize. When you're grounded and calm, you make her feel safe in a world that's anything but. When you're playful and teasing, you make her laugh and melt at the same time. When you stay unbothered during her storms, you make her feel anchored, even in her chaos. That's what creates emotional addiction. Think about the men she can't forget. They weren't always the most attractive. They weren't always the richest, but they left her with feelings she couldn't shake. Excitement, passion, intensity. And here's the secret. Emotional attraction bypasses logic. That's why she might leave the perfect guy for the one who makes her heart race. That's why she'll stay hooked on a man who gives her an emotional roller coaster while ignoring the one who treats her like a queen but feels bland. This doesn't mean you should be manipulative. It means you need to lead with presence, not performance. When you know who you are, when you stay centered, when you create tension and relief like a conductor with an orchestra, she feels it. It shakes her, and she can't stop coming back for more. That's why women don't want men to know this truth. If you can master her emotions, you'll own her thoughts, and once you live in her head, no amount of looks or status can compete. 5. She wants the thrill of the chase, even after she has you. Every man thinks the chase ends when she says yes. But that's when most relationships die. Here's the truth women won't tell you. She wants the thrill of the chase, even after she has you. When she first meets you, the uncertainty drives her wild. Will he text me? Does he like me? What does this mean? That tension makes her feel alive. But most men ruin it. They win her. Then stop playing the game. They overinvest. They get comfortable. They make themselves too available. And slowly, she loses that spark. It's not because she's ungrateful. It's because the tension that made you exciting has evaporated. But the man who keeps her chasing, he knows the dance doesn't end. He doesn't become predictable. He keeps his life full and his purpose bigger than her. He gives her attention, but not all the time. He stays mysterious, surprising her when she least expects it. He keeps challenging her, teasing her, flirting with her like he did at the start. That's the secret. The thrill she felt at the beginning wasn't about winning you. It was about earning you. About feeling like she had to rise to the level of a man who wasn't going to just hand himself over. And if you stop making her earn you, you stop being the man she fell for. This is why so many women leave good guys for men who seem unattainable. It's not because they like being mistreated. It's because they crave the emotional high of chasing someone who can't be fully tamed. But when you combine commitment with the thrill of the chase, when you give her the security of knowing you're hers while keeping that edge of unpredictability, you become the addiction she can't quit. Now you know why women didn't want this video out there. Because this isn't the polite, sugar-coated advice you usually hear. This is raw. This is uncomfortable. This is the stuff they wish you'd never figure out. But now you know. She craves your absence as much as your presence. Her tests are her way of searching for the real you. She needs a man who can tell her no. Her heart responds to emotion before logic. And the chase? It never ends. If you've seen these truths play out in your own life, drop a comment below. I see it now. And if you want more unfiltered psychology that women don't want you to know, stay tuned.